I'm Carla McDougall, founder of Reflective Life Ministries. I'm excited to share with you our newest project, Reflecting Today. This is a web production that is designed to highlight ministries and the way that God is working throughout our community. We are thrilled with the opportunity to share this with you as well. Much of the news you hear today is negative, but we know that God is working in mighty ways. We want to find out where that is, and we want to share it with you. So join us on a regular basis so that you can see what is going on in the North Houston area. So today what we're going to do is we are going to highlight OakRidge Baptist Church. They are located outside of the Woodlands, Texas. And on August 30th, they begin a study for women, and it is called Reflecting Him, which happens to be a Reflective Life Ministries Bible study. It is a 10-week study that has an accompanying movie that goes with it called Behind the Veil. God has used this in a variety of ways throughout the United States as well as the world. We want to share with you a little bit a testimony. So here's Trenda with her heart for reflecting Him.
I started taking the Reflecting Him Bible study at a point in my life when I was just really frustrated with my job. I was working full time, and I just was coming home practically in tears almost every night. And I started the Bible study and just really discouraged with everything. And I think the thing that happened during that Bible study was that I was directed to look at Jesus in everything around me every day. And it helped me get my focus back on Jesus and on God and how He was working in my life each day and in even the little things. And as I looked at Him through each of the steps of the Bible study, each lesson, God actually came to the point where I felt like it was time for me to step out and resign from my job and to move into a different step in life. I didn't know where that was or what that was going to be like, but I just knew it was time. And it was through just getting my focus back on Jesus and being encouraged that He was going to be there with me, directing me, guiding me, my support, whatever I needed. And so I took that step, and it has been an exciting adventure ever since. And I have found that Jesus is there for my hope, my comfort, my encouragement, no matter what happens, no matter how big the storms are. And I have just been able to hold on to that. It's just been exciting to see how God every day is right there, present and awesome in my life, in all the little things and the big things.
Okay, so today we have some of the people that were involved in making the movie Behind the Veil. And we're going to do a little bit of behind the scenes with you so you can understand how this took place. I'm excited to share with you my precious friends. So we will begin with Robin.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about just the movie and how you got involved and some of that stuff. So.
Okay. Well, I'm Robin Murray, and I have been working with Reflective Life for, 3 or 4 years, writing skits for Carla's talks. So when Carla does a retreat or whatever, as you both know because you've been in these skits, I would write the skits that would go along with the talk. And so then Carla wrote a Bible study, and she came to me and said that she really felt like God was leading her toward getting some sort of drama involved with the Bible study. So, it started out kind of small. We were thinking we would just write skits, and then we ended up writing basically a full-length movie, and you see it in segments. But it was just a very exciting thing because we thought we would just do it as skits, and then we went and talked to our main production guy, and he was going to just video the skits. And then he said, well, I've been learning a lot about making real movies with a location, and so that moved to being a movie. So all of a sudden I was able to be a screenwriter. It's very exciting.
Well, and may I also say that when I handed you that book and the 10 weeks of that study, that you went through that in 7 days and wrote this incredible movie where the lessons are embedded in the storyline. And so, that is a God.
It was a God thing.
poured out.
Right. That was, I had learned through writing skits for Reflective Life. I'd already learned, God had already brought me through that process of going, okay, Robin, you need to get yourself out of the way. Quit trying to be clever. Quit trying to be funny. You need to just pray and write what I give you. So I'd gotten to, at least God had gotten me to that point. So when Carla gave me the Bible study, I was able to just, go through the study, try to sort of get the main verses and the main concept from each of the weeks. And he just gave me a story. And the story actually was interesting because in my mind as I wrote it, I had... my mother's husband has an old house that's been in the family for generations, and it's out in Magnolia, which is not too far from here. And that was the house I had in my mind as I wrote it, but I never thought we would ever actually use the house because I thought we were just writing skits to be performed on a stage. So that was a neat thing when we went to Jake, and Jake said, well, let's just find a location and really shoot it and do a movie. And that just sounded like a huge undertaking to me. But I did say, I know the location. So we had a good location to begin with. And I think that sort of was a little bit, you could say, sort of the heart of the movie was that old house,
And I'll tell you what, not a picture had to be changed. We didn't have to move anything around. It was like God specifically designed it. Maybe, I don't know, decorated it how many years ago.
Yeah.
And it was
through
perfect.
the years.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it was written about that house. So it really was just ideal. And then the only thing is that God had to bring the actors. So
Absolutely.
And part of that was you getting to act with us.
That's right.
I do. I am in the film. Very briefly, I am Janet in the film. And that was not the original plan, but as one of our actresses kind of didn't work out, then we shifted things around, which was such a God thing too, because that put Jamie in a much larger role, and I filled in for the smaller role of Janet. So that was fun too, to be an actress.
Yes.
So.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm Anita, and I became involved in Reflective Life Ministries through my church. We were having a ladies' retreat, and Carla was our speaker, and our sweet pastor's wife came to us and said, there are some skits that one of her friends has written that goes along with what she's going to be speaking about at the retreat. And she needed some people to play the parts. And so I was able to be with 4 or 5 others from our church and be involved in that skit. And Jamie was my little sister.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm Jamie Higgs, and we go to the same church. And I had never been to one of your retreats, and I had never performed a skit at a retreat. I had just gotten involved in the AV unit at our church, and she approached me and said, hey, we're doing a skit. We know you love theater. Would you like to come over to a church and perform? So they gave me this stuff, which your writing is so easy to memorize so quickly. And we went in and we performed, and I thought that was it. And then I get another call, and it's, will I do a film? And which was a blessing. I didn't even see it coming from that direction. And so I jumped on board and am now part of your crew.
Wonderful. It is such a blessing. God is using this study as well as the movie in a powerful, powerful way. So as I ask you then this question, if you could take something away from it, what did God teach you? What did you learn?
In filming the movie? I could just see that God was in charge of everything, how everything fell in place, how all the people that were part of it became, were able to be the character and share the story that Robin had created that reflects all of the different values that are in reflecting Him in the ministry. And I just thought that was a way to reflect Him, to be a part and to be blessed by being a part of this.
Well, you shine brightly. You shine brightly when you're in there. That smile is just lights up the camera.
It is. I was amazed. I mean, early on, I could see with the casting because what she didn't mention is that Jamie actually is a trained actress, and she, was available and willing, and just in a place in her life where she could. That wasn't easy to carve out time, but was able to do this, and I could just see how God was providing everything that we needed. And even though the way that Jamie came to play the part she did, at first it would have seemed like, oh goodness, things are bad. We've lost an actress that we thought we were going to have. But then when we shifted things around and Jamie took the Karen role, it just was, from then on, I was just convinced God's got his hand on this, and he is going to use this however he would use this. And so, each time we would get together to film, Carla would get us started with prayer and say, "Are we still having fun?" And we just knew it was God's project, and I love hearing her stories of how it really has been impacting lives.
I learned so many things. I learned that when you're praying for a door to open in one direction, it comes from, it's opened in an unexpected area, which I had been praying for some work to use my talents, and I had never considered using it in the area of church. So that was one. I learned how to pray every day over how you pray. I mean, I have never experienced that with anyone. So easy, it just flows. We prayed for the weather. We thanked God for AC. We prayed for all of it to come together. We prayed for each other. I mean, I had just never been involved in anything like that. And then the story of Karen, her role hit close to home. Everything didn't align perfectly to my personal life, but that idea that no matter how far you stray, and no matter how many setbacks you experience, it's never too late to get right, with the Lord. So for me, it touched on many different levels.
What a blessing. So if you would like to be part of the Reflecting Him study that is going to be taking place at OakRidge Baptist Church, which is up North Houston, outside of the Woodlands, Texas, we would love for you to be part of that. I'm excited because I get to do a kickoff for them, so I'll be there live on August 30th, and there is more on their website, or you can go to reflectivelifeministries.org and find out information there as well. Thank you so much for being with us. What a blessing it has been. And my heart, each one of you holds something very special in my heart and will for the rest of my life. So we appreciate you very, very much. Thank you for being with us at Reflecting today. We just hope that you are blessed by what you've seen.